Putin doesn't think in terms of nation states. He thinks in terms of civilizations. He's written a lot about it. He talks about Russian civilization as being one of the great civilizations of the world.
The best way to unpack Russia's unique civilizational lineage is through the lens of Solzhenitsyn, which is an underestimated figure even till today. Solzhenitsyn made the incredible prediction in the 20th century that the great battle in the 21st century is between the proponents of modernity and the reactionaries. This is why his work on the Russian Civil War, called the Red Whale, is a much more significant work than the Gulag Archipelago. Solzhenitsyn saw the pure Russia lies in Siberia and before the centralization of Peter the Great. And the essence of the civilization lies in the old believers of the Russian Orthodox Church, where intelligentsia, who are essentially monks, work side by side with the peasants in communes and living in harmony with nature. And this is why Solzhenitsyn saw economic growth and other technological progress as the greatest vices of civilization. Russia today, which is the only country that has not benefited from globalization since the 1990s, is obviously attractive to the ideas of Solzhenitsyn. However, many people in the West saw Solzhenitsyn as a direct antithesis of Putin's Russia because of his idea of a decentralized Russian state and reviving the ancient Russian tradition of local self-governance in opposition to the centralized security apparatus under Putin, as the evidence of their incompatibility. However, if you look at Solzhenitsyn's praise of Alexander Kolchak, which is the supreme commander of the White Russian forces, you will notice that Solzhenitsyn is ultimately anti-Western. He perceived the threat from the West, whether it's in the form of Marxism or liberalism, as existential for the Russian civilization and if not the global civilization. And his pro-Western stance in the 1970s is merely tactical because he saw China as the greater threat. And most importantly, in order to fulfill the Siberian dream of Solzhenitsyn of building a separate civilization away from the deviant influence from the West, so Russia must defend itself first. And this is why, as NATO encroaches upon Russia, the ideal of abandoning Moscow and St. Petersburg in favor of retreating into Siberia has hardened into a defensive nationalism of pushing back against the West.